Hey Dylan, how's it going? I don't wish I had that hour, because I'm still working on stuff for the stream. And at work. Are you at work every day? So, hey man, unfortunately, the hat's way too small. Like the actual outfit, it looks like it can fit me. I'm not too sure, I haven't tried it on yet. But the hat, I think the hat's Dunjos. It's just way too small for my head. And if we can't have the hat, we can't have anything else. Yeah, the hat is horrifically small. It doesn't fit in my head at all. I just tried it in the bathroom because it'd be easiest to try on. But yeah, it's just way too small. I chose 2X. 2XL. Like I said, it's just a hat. I'll try on the outfit after stream and see if that fits. But at the very least, I can at least buy a different hat. Looks nice though. It's possible. But to be fair, they don't know how big my head is, so. But yeah, it's weird because it feels like this shouldn't be a problem. Like with the hat, it shouldn't actually be a problem. It's just a beret. Beret should fit on most people because of how stretchable they are, but this one is not stretchy. Mr. Big Brain? What? My head's a little big, but it ain't that big. Okay, give me a second. Almost 15 minutes in the stream. Let's get this done real quick. awesome. Oh, okay. Never mind. Alright, I'll get to do that after stream. Okay, let's get on to Andoris.
指揮官、どうか私という矢を見
One second. I found it. Sorry to keep you waiting, Andoris. Don't worry about it. It's very kind of you to take time out of your busy day just to help me sort out my droll data, Commander. Welcome. It's my responsibility as your commander, after all. Today we're going through the section of records from when you joined 404, right? Yes, a lot happened back then. Oh? Interesting. I'm also keen to learn about what went down. After all, the Kukai I remember never struck me as someone particularly welcoming to new members. You're right about that, Commander. You seem eager to hear it too. If you're ready, shall we begin now? Let's do this. This scenario... this is just like back when I first saw it in Elid. In level 2? Yes, all I saw was their virtual image back then, but even so, it spooked me. It's understandable that civilian dolls would not have much opportunity to see Elids. I'll go ahead and take care of these then, Commander. Oh, I'm gonna have the cotton team. Do they encrypt their memory files to hold older memories? Based on what I know, they shouldn't have to do any encryptions. At least from what I remember. Hey, Prince Red, how's it going? .416 and GRG-11 push open the door as they walk into the cafe. After finding their seat, a waitress doll approaches them. Welcome. My name is Andoris, and I'm here to serve you today. Is there anything I can help you with? The attentive Andoris does not hand them the menu, nor does she show any sign of concern or impatience. She merely smiles and waits for .416 and G11's response. Perhaps eased by Andoris' gentle demeanor, 416 briefly loosens up after having glared at Andoris with her usual wariness. Your manager, is Springfield here? Manager Springfield is unavailable at the moment. She'll be back in a bit. If it's okay with you, you can wait for her here, or you can leave her a message. Sure, we'll wait for her. Alright, I'll head back to work then. Please let me know if you need anything. After Andoris has left, 416 double-checks the details of the commission. We're ahead of schedule. Looks like there's still a half an hour before their great delivery time. Isn't that a good thing? That means we completed the last commission faster than expected. Stop dragging me out of bed so early in the morning next time, 416. And you need to stop treating one-offs as a norm. Whatever you say. You're always on edge like this, 416. G11 murmurs as she stretches lazily before she flops into the table, contently letting her eyelids slowly close shut. Hey son, how's it going? Since we have plenty of time, I'll just... Even when those two aren't around anymore, G11 still hasn't grown up one bit. .416 props her head up and turns her attention to outside the window. The traffic of a Green Zone cafe in the day is quite light. Together with the soothing melodies playing in the background, the sunlight streaming through the ceiling-high windows conjures a brief moment of afternoon tranquility. Amidst this tranquility, .416 checks the message interface on her terminal once again. Alas, it is just quiet there. Have things like this bothered you before to you, Commander?
Hot, 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 hot! Give me some ice!
Right.
Can't you take the picture away?
Bring ice cubes, wipe the table, then take the order and take the picture away.
Ugh, again? Can't you process more than one thing at a time? You think I'm in the mood to order food right now?
I'm really sorry. The commotion nearby interrupts the brief moment of peace .416 was enjoying. G11, on the other hand, slightly adjusts her position and drifts back into her slumber. Seeing the overwhelmed and panicking Andoris, a certain civilian doll pops into .416's mind. She slightly adjusts her mental state and lets out a soft sigh. At the very least, G11 is more useful than this one. Finally, the cafe's doors swing open once again and Springfield walks in. Upon noticing Andres swiping the floor at the coffee stain, she smiles helplessly. Just as she's about to lend Andres a hand, .416 barges in and blocks her path. .416? It's been a while. My apologies for my absence and not being there to receive you. There's an urgent matter I had to attend to. It's fine. You're right on time. Exacting as always, .416. How long has it been since we last met? 3 years? No, it's been longer than that. Let's leave the catching up for later. Is the cargo ready for handover? Cargo? You have Nikita now? Yeah. She's been out for like a month. A tinge of hesitation flashes across Springfield's usual gentle expression. I see. But please wait for a moment while I take care of something. With .416's nod of agreement, Springfield gestures for Andoris to help to head to the back of the cafe. Still cleaning the floor, Andoris pauses for a moment before joining Springfield. .416 walks back to her table and bluntly shakes G11 awake. What now? Time to work. Sure. No need to wake me up like that. Springfield's back? Where is she? Sorry to keep you waiting. Please follow me to the back. Floor 16 hesitates for a moment, then pushes the drowsy G11 along after Springfield. Walking past the kitchen, the three stop somewhere more akin to a storage room. A large, person-tall container lies quietly in the center of the room. Floor 16 cautiously approaches the container and carefully examines it for a moment. This is what we're here for? Can you please unlock the box? Seeing the exact delivery date has yet to be confirmed, the cargo will need to be stored at 404's warehouse first. Thus, we'll need to verify the cargo condition before delivery. No problem. But, if possible, can you please stop referring to her as cargo? What do you mean by her? Instead of answering directly, Springfield pushes open the lid. Andoris lies quietly in hibernation in a cold transport container. Her serene sleeping face resembles the warm sunshine of spring. While she has been removed from the cafe's registry, her local neural backup has yet to be deleted. In a way, she is still our companion. What companion? After everything, you just sold her off like any other appliance or item. Who'd you sell her to? Don't tell me to the scrapyard. Are some random broker in the yellow zone? 416, we just need to verify her condition. No need to delve too deep into this. I don't need you to remind me of that. Seeing 416's overbearing stance, G11 reluctantly chimes in to ease the tension despite the not this again expression on her face. Please don't take it personally, Springfield. 416 is just a little hypersensitive with these matters due to what happened to us before. 404 has no prejudice whatsoever against our clients, nor do we delve into matters that are not our concern. You can rest assured. I understand. We too simply hope Andoris can find a more suitable place. Due to her friend's performance issues, she can't handle most of the daily tasks at the cafe very well. She herself is quite troubled by this. Rest assured, the one who will take Andoris in is not an inconsiderate individual. I can guarantee you that. Hey Nixon, how's it going? Things are going pretty well. Just going through Andoris' story right now, and yeah, I'm surprised I got thrown into a box. It's pretty cool. Busy training Uma Musume's. That game is still popping off. I'm surprised it's still going strong over in the West. 416, without even responding to Springfield, coldly patches into an encrypted channel. Leva's voice comes through. Looks like he just successfully rendezvoused with Springfield. Leva, is this cargo you told us to bring over the civilian doll called Andoris? I don't remember the exact nature of the cargo being specified anywhere, but given the time, location, and contact for the handover all line up, it sounds right to me. Sounds right? To you? Since when the 404s are taking on sketchy commissions like these? Don't think that I... Oh, looks like Kalina got herself into some trouble. Gotta hang up now. I'll trust you with bringing Andoris back. Hello? With the call abruptly cut off, 416 can only try to calm herself. She then closes the lid on the container in front of her. 20 blah 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 1503 54 Squad 404 confirms receiving the civilian doll Andoris. She's finally back to normal. I'll leave her to you from now on, Squad 404. You should stay and rest for a bit before you leave. That would not be necessary. Until she's delivered, 404 will ensure Andoris' safety. If any unexpected issues arise down the line, we will contact you again. Oi, G11. Come on, not me again. Shut up. Get her out of here. The back door is over there. Okay. G11 carries the transport container out of the back door of the cafe, with 416 following after her. Perhaps out of professional habit, Springfield gently bows at the departing silhouette. At least I took care of her. Yeah, so long story short, Andoris was complete ass. Complete ass at being a maid. And then she got, like, she was so bad that Springfield had no choice but to sell her off. Although it seems like Andoris wasn't very happy about her performance either. So she was probably happy to be shut down. Of course, though, this triggers Kukai, because what happened goes from line 1 to G11. Imagine being so bad Springfield is mean. Where is that little brat? Version. Very similarities. Like she was ready to throw down, not gonna lie. I do, but I like the original outfit more. It's less immersion breaking. Or it's not immersion breaking, to be more accurate. Like, if the crew deck has a function where you can just put like the skins on during the dorm, but have like the default outfit in combat, that'd be best. Holy fuck, do we not have any cutscenes? Maybe I could have had that extra hour to do what I needed to do before stream. Including trying on the cosplay outfit. We're making great progress. Your orders are really concise and efficient, Commander. And you're very good at carrying them out. Although there's some lags and delays, your execution are accurate and your information analyses are very precise. Both have been a great help. Commander, are you being considered my feelings? You are truly very kind. I am very appreciative of your acceptance, Commander. Speaking of acceptance, sorry for putting it this way, but I never expected Kukai to eventually approve your conclusion. Indeed, I was also quite surprised. I thought I was going to be fired again, or maybe fired is not the right word since I wasn't officially employed in the first place. What did you do to change Kukai's mind? I feel like I did a lot, but also nothing at the same time. What does that mean? Let's continue sorting through it, Commander. Seeing little records firsthand will be more helpful, I think. I'll entrust you with it. Andoris, can you hear me? My apologies, Commander. There's a bit of an error when I load in the data. It's alright. Let's focus on the battle at hand. It feels like Andoris needs to be taken to Persica to get fixed up. You broke. Has the air tried? That's the question. Having brought back and safely stored Andoris at 4-4's temporary base, 416 returns to her routine as if nothing happened. Originally planning to bring G11 along for the simulation training, she notices several maintenance crews sitting at the usually vacant rest area. Each of them holds a cup of coffee and chats enthusiastically. None notices 416's appearance. The aroma of coffee wafting through the air adds a touch of coziness this place usually lacks, but also a hint of suspicion. Wow, can't believe we're getting attended to by someone. It's definitely a first. Guess these dolls finally learned to treat their guest.
I don't think I've seen her face before. A tentacle doll hiring a civilian doll? This world is becoming more absurd by the day.
Who cares? I'm good at long as there's a pretty girl to look at. Ha 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 ha. You're right. Miss, another cup of coffee, please. Okay. Please wait a moment. We ran out of coffee beans, and I just found a new bag. Hearing the request, Andoris walks out of the storage and deftly loads the coffee beans onto the machine. Son. I'm really sorry. We only have a coffee machine here, and I can't hand brew you anything.
Oh, that's totally fine. We don't care about such things. We'd even drink motor oil if Miss Andoris were the one that brought it to us.
I actually really doubt that.
You're really funny. You're really stupid. I mean, funny.
Alright, give me a sec. I'm gonna water. Okay. Wait, Dylan, what the fuck? Seeing Andoris laughing and joking with the maintenance crew, 416 tenses up again after having calmed down. Just then, Andoris also notices her entering the rest area and greets her with a friendly smile. Good morning. 416? Sorry, I'm not terribly familiar with T-Doll's imprint system. I apologize if I made a mistake. You're not mistaken. But 416 walks over to the beanbag sofa, grabs onto its ledge, and yanks it up. G11, who is lying closely on it, is throwing it onto the floor, following a loud thud. What are you doing, 416? You could have just told me to get up nicely. A doll that should be in the warehouse is freely warm in the base, yet you, a member of 404 tasked with their safekeeping, simply turned a blind eye. You tell me why I should be nice with you? I'm not the one who woke Andoris up, it's the air! He came over and sneakily powered Andoris up, and then left as if she was fleeing from a disaster, even though he woke me up in the process. The air is certainly becoming quite bold. I happen to have some equipment that needs his calibration. We should pay him a visit in person. What a hassle. You can go on your own. I'll go back to... Seeing G11 ahead to the beanbag sofa, 416 swiftly snatches her by the clothes. To avoid being snatched away, G11 holds onto one of the table's legs with their hand. As their tug-of-war plays out, comms to a special encrypted channel are established. With Leva's image coming through, 416 pushes G11 down. Having gained some breathing room, G11 retreats to the safety of hiding behind Andoris. Safe at last! I don't think 416 means any harm. Glad to see you two are still close as ever. Is your visual module malfunctioning or what? Anyway, great timing. We're just about to pay Dier a visit, given that he activated the doll in 404's custody without authorization. It was authorized. I gave him the order. Oh, and I also reminded him to be quiet on the job and flee as if his life depended on it, seeing the boatload of trouble he would be if he got caught by 416. You think have 404 having too much of a good time as of late or what? The client says it'll be a while before they can collect the cargo. It'll be a shame not to put such an excellent civilian doll like Andoris to use. See? She can attend to the personnel and look after G11. Isn't that great? You think I'm a moron? Four16 did not raise her voice, yet her tone carries intense intimidation. The maintenance crew, who had been watching from the sidelines, simply put down their coffee and leave the scene one after another. Yes. It's not until only 3 dolls remain in the rest area that Leva resumes talking. What's the matter? Why so grumpy all of a sudden? Quit playing dumb. No client is coming to collect the cargo. Andoris is a new recruit you're trying to bring to 404, isn't she? You thought I would have noticed her file tucked into the stack of resumes you had with Lena Brenover? Oh, wow. Despite all that fuss about being against new members, you sure pay a lot of attention to the matter, 416. Seeing all this happen because you stubbornly refused to interview any new dolls, so I had to resort to my methods to get you both in one place. What are you hoping to achieve by putting a civilian doll in 404? Deliver lunch boxes to the enemy in the front line? Well, it's not like it's our first time converting a civilian doll into a tactical doll. I say G7 certainly qualifies as a formidable combatant now. She's different. 416 glances at G11 hiding behind Andoris with half of head poking out. Andoris' model features a large storage capacity, ideal as a battlefield intelligence operative. Dier and I are in talks about how to utilize this feature to enhance workforce capabilities. Besides, she's got a calm and gentle personality, good for smoothing things out when Lena and I aren't around. She's also better at holding conversations with humans. I know you aren't the best at dealing with them, huh, 416? Except for a certain commander. Stop changing the subject! I know what you're up to. So long as I let these new recruits into the team, you get to sit comfortably in your Nampa office and dump mission after mission on us to toll away at. Leva, 404 is a squad of 4. You may be the leader, but you aren't in charge of everything. So you do know the squad of 4 after all. Leva's retort makes 416's expression grow even more somber. What are you trying to say? You and G11 have been working over capacity, right? Even to the point of getting carried back by drones after you were both nearly destroyed. I don't suppose that's a good thing for either you or 4-4's reputation. Oh, look who suddenly cares about 4-4's reputation. The same leader who took half our fighting power and rarely comes back. You think cramming a civilian doll into the squad will help the 4-4's reputation? What we need now is a proficient tactical doll, not a walking hard drive. An interesting analogy. Oh, dang. Okay. Why are we back calling the rifle names instead of the girl names? This is in the past, before they changed their names. Like within year 4 or 5 of the time skip. Through that time, they still had their, the Griffin names, or whatever you call them, their IOP names. Another timeline fuck right now. This is a flashback, more or less. Yeah, Springfield said it was longer. It's been longer than 3 years, so I assume 4 or 5. As her neural cloud is thrown into a disarray by the quarrel, G11 clutches tightly at Andoris' hem. The latter smiles and places her hand over G11's ears to shield her from the noise. Huh. I say it's best for you to chill out for now. I mean, ultimately, it's not up to me if Andoris joins 404 or not. Since you two are going to be the ones working with her on a daily basis. I'm glad you're aware of that. Of course I do. But you need to stop acting like a child who refuses to play with others once you found a best friend. Throwing a tantrum like a spoiled brat will only hurt those you cherish the most, you know. Shut up. Forsything hangs the call without thinking twice. After she turns around, she sees Andoris soothing the clearly perturbed G11. Yeah, frightened. Her neural cloud is a little nimble right now. Although I'm not sure what you two are arguing about, I believe disagreements between companions shouldn't be taken too seriously.
When I worked at the cafe, I too. Just leave.
416 avoids Andoris' eyes.
You heard our conversation. There's no place for you in 404. Unlike her back in the day, you can find other places to go besides the cafe.
After noticing Andoris' silence, 416 awkwardly adds another line.
Until you find your next employment, you can live here. You can also back up your neural cloud in the 404 server for the time being.
Did she crash again? Andoris' silence lasts longer than expected. 416 looks at her again with impatience. While the smile lingers on the lips of the beautiful doll. Nice narration there. Her gentle eyes had grown dull and empty.
416, I think she crashed?
Just as the two lean in and take a closer look, Andoris suddenly blinks. Her smile gives way to unease and confusion. As if unaware of her own crash, she casually picks up where the conversation has been left at.
So, I've been fired again?
So I think she crashed because she got emotionally distraught. That's what it sounds like. The feeling of rejection again made her crash. Got it. Okay.
Today's plan failed. Despite learning some ambush and CQC techniques through online video tutorials, when it came time to put them into practice, I got pinned by Miss 416 before I even realized what happened. Looking back, she lightly noticed my presence before I first approached her. Her left sweep was so fast I barely caught a glimpse of it. However, I did manage to lift Miss 416 off the ground. I suppose that could be seen as a small triumph for me.
Sitting in front of the terminal, Andoris sighs, then frowns at the words she had just typed out on the terminal.
No. Lifting Miss 416 off the ground was just a random reaction I resorted to amidst the confusion. It was not a deliberate act. Besides, I got quickly pinned to the ground afterwards. While I knew it wouldn't be easy, as easy as shown in the tutorial, Miss 416 is far beyond my expectations. What should I do now? Since I gave my word that I land a single hit at Miss 416 to prove myself worthy of the position, I can't stop just after one failure. Though I can't just shoot Miss 416 with a real gun, that'd be too dangerous.
Andoris pulls up the search engine and aimlessly clicks around, browsing through tactical training videos. Now go normal. Today I'm going to teach you some useful moves that are particularly helpful when there's a significant disparity between you and your opponent. The key is to target your opponent's weak spots.
Target weak spots. Makes sense.
Generally speaking, the human body have these weak spots: the abdomen, the throat, and the eyes. Let me demonstrate how to quickly hit these areas.
Do dolls share the same weak spots? The abdomen? Our frames look quite protected. The neck does look more fragile, but I doubt I can deal with any damage with my strength. That leaves one option. Let's see what the video says.
Suppose we're face to face with the enemy. Andoris stands up and pushes the chair under the table, leaving enough space around her.
Right, suppose the enemy is here.
Keep your lower body stable by spreading your feet slightly apart. Get ready to move around or even jump.
Ready to move around.
Protect your face with your left hand. Defend yourself.
Left hand. Okay, right here. But don't I need to know how Miss 416 will attack first to be able to defend myself? Based on my previous observations, there are 17 possible areas I could be hit. First, protect the nose, then cover the chest, the forehead, and nose.
Strike out with your right hand. Go straight for the eyes. Owie, why did you hit me?
The obvious comedic twist leading into the second half of the video has gone completely over Andoris' head as she already on the verge of crash. Nose, cover, forehead, hit.
It's really mad. Andoris punches herself in the face and is knocked to the ground.
Today's plan failed as well, seeing as I failed to master the technique of attacking an opponent's weak spots head-on. I was ordered to an ambush again. However, right as I covered Miss 416's eyes, she immediately turned around and tackled me to the ground. Combat really is a challenging ordeal. How can I land a hit and prove myself to Miss 416? Fortunately, I found a direction to work towards. The video tutorial taught about employing equipment creatively, like using flashbangs to temporarily blind enemies. I decided to try this approach. I'll prepare for it tonight. Let's keep pushing tomorrow. Today was another failure. I guess filling the meeting room with mood light isn't as effective as real flashbangs. Though when Miss 14 threw me to the ground, my sight did blur for a split second. I guess that does count as the blinding effect? I should take note of that. The tutorial made mention of utilizing the terrain to one's advantage when faced with an overwhelming odds. As the saying goes, everything about the right timing, the right location, and the right people. That has inspired me. Tomorrow, I'll experiment with a plan that leverages the environment. I hope it'll go smoothly. The distraction tactic failed. I asked Miss Mechanic to help distract Miss 416, but it wasn't effective at all. Miss 416 managed to knock me to the ground the moment I revealed myself. Does she have additional visual modules beside her eyes? Fortunately, after all these days of hard work, I have mastered the basis layout, or at least a section accessible to an outsider like me. Additionally, I now have a general understanding of Miss 416 and Miss G11's habits. I can make use of this information in future plans. On a side note, one thing's been bothering me over the past days. Despite getting angry and calling my plan foolish, Miss 14 never stopped me from attempting my ambush tactics. What does she mean by that? I'm so tired. Today was supposed to be my day off, yet we're staying up later than usual. Stop complaining. Didn't I just take you out for a ride to relax? You call that relaxing? I still have dust in my nose. Ugh. Fine. Hurry up and get in. Time to write today's training report. Look at what time it is. It's my personal time now. You need to respect my... Hush! 416 abruptly stops from dragging G11 into the meeting room. Caught in the momentum, G11 can't stop in time and bumps straight into her. Ouch! What now? Are we going to the meeting room or what? Quiet. Have you noticed something's up? Huh? Something's up? Ah, why are all the lights in the meeting room switched off? Are we so low on budget that we need to conserve energy like this? No. I told the staff to leave the lights on and have the equipment ready before they clock out since we'll need the meeting room around this time. Does that mean someone snuck in? A thief? No way! This is 404's secret hideout! Switch to night vision. Yes! With their night vision on, the two see the meeting room in total disarray. The floor is littered with all sorts of debris in contrast to its usual tidiness. I can't see very well, but they certainly made a big mess. I guess the thief really did get in. But why would they rummage through a meeting room? Careful. We need to take a closer look. 416 and G11 slowly enter the meeting room with their weapons trained. 416 comes to a halt when she feels something crack underneath her feet. Coffee beans? Tea bags and snacks too. I don't get it, 416. Are we sure this is actually not the pantry? Check the corner. Something's there. Oh, okay. In night vision mode, the two find a thing lying on the floor in the corner. Is that hair I'm seeing? Is that a person? 416. 416 does not answer, but rather quietly steps over the scattered debris on the floor and faces towards the thing on the ground. She stops a step away from the thing and frowns as she stares at it. This is what you got in store for your pathetic antic today? Faking an attack in the meeting room? What's going on? Ignoring G11's question, 416 steps forward and gently kicks the thing to the ground. While the thing lying on the ground does not change its position, it visibly stiffens. Not getting up yet? Hiya! Andoris slowly sits up, intending to strike the side of 416's neck with a hand chop. 416 irritably catches her hand, slowly it around, and pins her to the ground. I'll pass on the high five. As expected, Miss 416. Impressive as always. Hey Recon, how's it going? So, do you still need to act out on this nonsensical skit with you? I'm afraid you'll have to keep me company for a little longer, Miss 416. While Andoris' face is pressed against the ground, thus making it difficult for her to speak, 416 sees a glimpse of a calm smile on her face. What? Listen to me, 416. Wah! G11, I told you to stay away. I can't stop. Get out the way, 416. Owie! With G11 stumbling towards her in the pitch black meeting room, 416 fails to push her aside as both her hands are occupied with holding Andoris down. The two collide violently, triggering another round of ruckus. Enough! 416 flips the light on. The blinding incandescent glare suddenly fills the meeting room. Andoris narrows her eyes to adjust to the light. In her gradually clearing vision, she sees G11 scrambling to stand up. What's this? It's all slippery and smells kinda good. It's coffee? Whoa, you got them all over your face and hair, 416. Did you take a swim in the coffee pool? Looks like my plan is a success. Though it's with coffee, it still counts as hitting Miss 416, right? Yeah? All this is part of your plan, Andoris? But where did the coffee come from? As G11 looks around, a crushed coffee can rolls to her feet. Oh, guess it came from the can that I stepped on.
Whoa! 416 stomps on the can, crushing it completely. The remaining liquid spurts out and splashes all over G11. Oh, so you only realize it now? How about I send you to the circus tomorrow if you're that good at stepping on cans? It's not like I meant to. I was in a hurry and it was so dark in there. Fortunately, what Andoris left on the ground was just a can of coffee and not a landmine. Otherwise, it'd been over for us. So even you know it'll be over? It's okay, Miss 416. No need to get upset. I think G11's just worried about you, which is why she rushed over. Besides, it's not like his hazardous items are going to be in the meeting room. I wouldn't leave things out of that nature in here. After all, my real intent isn't to hurt you two. Well, you're also quite the genius for making a fool out of 416 like this, Andoris. G11 tugs at 416's sleeve. Pretty rich coming from you. 416 glares at G11 and the latter wisely shuts up. She then maintains her cold expression while turning her attention to Andoris. All of this just to join 404, huh? Yes, Miss 416. Please, give me the opportunity. 416 takes 2 deep breaths before snatching the gun from G11's hand and throwing it at Andoris. Take this, and follow me to the light fire training ground. Didn't you want a chance? Then it's time to stop your ridiculous antics and face me in proper combat. Combat on top, and I'll let you go through the acceptance test. Yeah? What the heck are you doing, 416? Don't you know that how much easier the acceptance test is compared to defeating you? Didn't we just agree? Mind your own business. Get a mop and clean the floor up. If I see a single coffee bean on the ground when I'm back, you better say goodbye to all your game save files. What's all this got to do with my save files? You evil bitch. Ignoring G11's grumbles, 416 storms out of the meeting room furiously. Andoris pats G11 on the shoulder reassuringly. That's so taller than the 416 meatball. It's okay, Miss G11. I'll clean it up with you once I'm back. You need to be able to come back first. 416 is really terrifying when she's worked up like that. So don't try to take her head on. Although she probably won't actually harm you. Yes, I understand. I'll take my chances. It's better to be like that. Speaking of, do you even know how to use a gun? Andoris holds the weapon up in her hand and examines it carefully. I've watched tutorials, so I know the basics. Just aim at the target through the scope and pull the trigger, right? Yeah. Are you coming or not? I'll be right there. Andoris smiles at G11 and follows 416 out of the room. Visibly worried, G11 follows her to the door and shouts, "Pay attention to the recoil! Make sure the gun is pressed up against your shoulder!" Unsure whether Andoris can even remember her advices, G11 withdraws her gloomy gaze back to the mess in the meeting room. Like, man, why does Kukai gotta aim for the save files? You know how much work it takes to get 100% save files in games? Like, calm down, Kukai. Imagine if she deleted your Nikkei account. Andoris? Yes, Commander, I'm right here. Why so serious all of a sudden? Are you feeling tired? I have a coffee grinder here. Let me brew you up a coffee. No, it's not that. I'm tired, but sure, I'll have a cup. Thanks. What I want to say is, have you ever considered optimizing your neural cloud? Not that there's anything wrong with the way you are, but if the persistent crashing bothers you a lot, I'm sure I can help you with that. Andoris flashes a look of surprise before turning her focus back on what she's doing without responding right away. She sits down beside me with a gentle smile and a steaming cup of coffee ready to be served. I really can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me, Commander. Don't think of it that way. As I said before, it's my responsibility as your commander. No, it's precisely with my experience on the numerous employers that I've learned. People like you who deeply care about dolls are few and far between. I just want everyone here to have an easier time. What do you think of that? We are very grateful for your kindness, Commander. However, if my neural clouds be optimized, my storage capacity would be affected, right? If that's the case, I will no longer be able to perform my tasks of info gathering and analysis as effectively as I do now. Moreover, with everyone's help, my marksmanship has somewhat improved. Therefore, I think it's best to maintain the status quo for now. Okay. If you feel that way, to be frank, I also think storage capacity and analysis are where your strengths are. I will keep an eye out on any emerging technologies that can fix your crashing problem without compromising your current capabilities. Commander. Alright, I heard enough compliments today. Let's keep sorting through the no records, shall we? I'd like to know what happened next. Sure thing. Commander with the casual riz. Like he just exists and the panties drop easily. It's been an entire hour. My meal hasn't been served yet. This Andoris is standing there like a piece of junk. Where's your manager? Get me your manager.
I'm terribly sorry. I'll take care of it.
Facing the angry customer, Saint Teresi shields Andoris behind her.
Sorry, dear customer, but it's currently peak dining hour and we're short-staffed. We sincerely apologize for the wait. Your meal will be served shortly, and we'll do our utmost to provide you with excellent service.
Hearing the commotion, Manager Springfield also emerges from behind the bar, holding a cup of steaming latte.
Our deepest apologies for taking up your time. This latte is on me. Sir, I am very sorry for the inconvenience caused. I will do my best to compensate you.
You? Compensate me? You think you can make up for the time I wasted because of you? With the clatter of wind chimes, 2 more customers walk into the cafe.
See, Colleen, Springfield's place is very lively. Don't say that, Leva.
Seeing the 2 who just walked in, Saint Tracy glances at Springfield with a look of "do this to me," sparing her to greet the 2.
Leva and Kalina? Are you out on a business trip? Yeah, we'll be around for a while, so I figured we'd drop by. Colleen really misses your hand-brewed coffee.
Springfield guides the 2 to an empty table. She then looks back to make sure Saint Tracy had appeased the angry customer before raising her hand to call Andoris over.
This is Andoris, our newest employee. And these 2 are Kalina and Leva. Pleased to meet you both. So you're the newcomer. No wonder you look so flustered. I'm terribly sorry. I have embarrassed myself before you. Andoris has worked here for some time now. She's very meticulous and attentive. Using her large storage capacity, she can accurately track each customer's preference and their birthdays. Sounds like the perfect fit for the job, but I guess it's another story in practice. Well, Magic Springfield has taught me everything I need to know about the job, but my own performance issues prevents me from handling more complex and unexpected requests from customers. Even when it comes to the menu, I've only learned how to brew coffee. It's not Magic Springfield's fault. Oh, I see. So you're not a good fit. Leva. Oh, so you suck then.
Lena stops Leva from going further, yet an enigmatic smile remains on Leva's face as she strokes her chin.
Say, how about having her join 404 Springfield? Huh? Andoris, but... Leva!
Lena's voice now carries an angry undertone, yet Leva simply shrugs indifferently and turns her attention back at Andoris.
Andoris. Oh, by the way, hold your questions about 404 for now. What are your thoughts on working here? Me?
Andoris falls silent for a moment.
I will try my best to keep up with everyone, though it may take some time. I don't want to leave. You should realize that a place that makes things harder for both sides is probably not where you belong. Seeing how swiftly you guys handled that scuffle, I can only assume what happened back there is a norm, right? Feels bad.
When we get to the scene where Andoris punches herself, we already got that one.
Think more flexibly. If this place isn't the right fit for you, why not consider my suggestion?
Andoris turns towards Springfield with a somewhat bewildered look on her face. Springfield pats her on the shoulder and helps her straighten her apron.
I have no intention of letting you go, but you have the final say. Working at a cafe won't let you reach your full potential, but 404 will. Do you want to find a place where you're truly needed, Andoris? Will I be needed at 404? Leva chuckles. Of course you will be. But you have to put up with a certain sharp-tongued yet soft-hearted doll's harsh critiques first. But believe me, she means no harm, and she's actually quite reliable. You'll be fine, Andoris. So, let's give it a try. With her hair all messed up, Andoris cowers in the room's corner, with G11's gun clutched tightly within her arm. Her body is covered in bruises, while bullet holes litter her surroundings. Join 404, and this'll be your everyday life. The real battlefield is nothing like your childish antics. He crashed again. She got emotional. Oh man. .416 sees Andoris Blake stare and assumes she had crashed again. Irritated, she yanks G11's assault rifle out of her hands and walks out of the door without noticing the change in Andoris' face. A new world. But this one will need me? Andoris slowly stands up, then looks down at her battered body. The weight and stiffness of the assault rifle still lingers in her arms. If so, I want to bear witness to that kind of world that needs me. .416 opens the door and is greeted by G11, who was peering through the gap with a mop in hand. It's over? How did it go? .416 shoves the gun at G11's arms and strides forward. She's alive. Oh. Can't say she's scared sintless, though. Didn't you decide to give Andoris a chance when we were in the yellow zone earlier? Why do this all of a sudden? The heavy bike comes to a stop on top of a small hill. A convoy of vehicles is parked in the valley below, surrounded by a few scattered dolls busy doing maintenance work. Their frames are covered in varying degrees of damage, with signs of sloppy modifications. A number of them can barely move coherently, undoubtedly the result of haphazard remodeling done on civilian dolls. One of them quickly spots .416 and G11. Her fire control module, clearly ripped from some random piece of military hardware and forcibly welded onto her, suddenly swivels around. The mechanical eyeball rotates unnaturally, seemingly about to fall out of its socket. .416 shows no reaction. She stands there and stares into those empty eyes. Once the doll confirms .416's presence, presents no threat, she drops her guard and returns to her task without looking back. Whoa. Excuse me. It's as if they're Frankenstein monsters. G11 has... Dylan. Truly a collapse technology. G11 has just woken up from hibernation, rubbing her eyes as she walks over to .416. Geez, if Leva hadn't taken us in, would we have ended up like them by now? You're thinking too highly of yourself. I may end up like them, but only because I was built as a T-doll. You, on the other hand, are at best a component they would bolt onto me, and most likely the most useless one. Sure, I am useless after all. Bitch. If that's what you think of me, why don't I hurry up and recruit some other dolls so I can stay at the base and nap all day? Instead of firing back as she usually does, .416 remains silent. G11 does not disturb her, nor does she return to the bike.
Instead, she stays by 416's side, just as she does on the battlefield. Everyone is so mean. Do you remember the original meaning of 404, G11? The original meaning? As in those who don't exist? Yes. Or dolls who, for various reasons, found themselves unable to return to any organization and thus were deemed non-existent by the world. Willingly or not, we came together, braved battle after battle, and fought tooth and nail to secure the freedom we now hold. But does that even mean anything to an ordinary doll? You're increasingly weird as of late, 416. Has Leva and Lena been put too much pressure on you? Have you contemplated all this back when you decided to remodel me? Surely not. Is that the real reason why you're rejecting Andoris? In part, yes. We had no choice back then, but Andoris still does. This place may be a safe haven for us, but for her? But looking at Andoris, I don't think her prior jobs were all sunshine and rainbows either. She crashed at the mere mention of the word fired. Maybe she's better off staying with 404, just as Springfield and Leva concluded. Let's at least give her a fire control core and see if it works out. We can find her a stable job if she doesn't, or keep her at the base as logistics. 404 is not a shelter. Randomly securing or remodeling dolls is responsible to both sides. Jeez, as if 404 is some legitimate organization. You're being so textbook about it that it's starting to feel weird. The G11 scratches her head dramatically. Besides, Leva handpicked her. We should value her judgment, right? Her judgment? I bet she's just in for the price per doll value. But all of us that she chose back then were alive and well today. Can't hurt to try. You know, as they say, the only true failure is not trying at all. Don't let your doubts swim before the fight even begins. Upon hearing such a straight-faced statement, 416 glances at G11. Where'd you get that from? The newest anime I watched. Cool, huh? Of course. Oh, they're leaving. The rattling sound that the engine starts up comes from behind the hill. The bounty hunters yell at the dolls to get back on the vehicles. Hurry up! Bunch of worthless scraps. Fuck! We're really shit out of luck these days. First a collapse storm and then a bunch of Jaegers. Half the dolls got totaled. How are we supposed to take on any commissions like this?
No worries. The boss has already contacted some underground brokers to get us more illegal dolls. Worst case scenario, we just stay through for now.
Sure. Wanna go have some fun later? The root man pushes the last doll into the vehicle, then climbs in himself before pulling down the heavy blast door. Following the engine's roar, the convoy departs, gradually shrinking into a tiny black dot in the drifting sand. On top of the hill, G11 and 416 also return to the bike. Sit tight. And patch me into Dier's comm channel. 416 accelerates to full throttle, and the heavy bike speeds off in the opposite direction. With a mop in one hand and her gun in the other, G11 can barely keep up with 416's brisk pace while nervously observing her solar expression. Did you change your mind while Andoris staying? Please say something, 416. I did not change my mind. But if all that it took to scare the life out of her,
then she'd be crying and begging to resign in 2 days tops. We'd be on a mission by then, and who's going to fill in for her? You? Oh. But I don't think that would be the case, though. Didn't you also say it's quite remarkable of her to have persevered all these days just for an opportunity? G11 scratches her head and looks back at the training ground. Andoris has yet to come out, nor has she made any sound. Even 3-year-olds can come up with the same tricks. What gives? I only said that because, well, she is indeed making progress, if I decided to give her a chance. Alright, stop staring at it. Are you done mopping the floor yet? Just a funny reminder, you still have your training report to do. Why do you still remember that? Still not fully at ease, G11 scratches her head again. But what if Andoris is still willing to attempt the acceptance test? What are you going to do, 416? 416 stops, but does not turn around. She pauses for a moment before answering. In that case, it won't hurt to let her try. That's dramatic. Roll 5 here? Interesting translation. So I would say so far this story is pretty good. I would say it's better than Belka's. He's kind of a bitch without him. He needs a focal point. He needs an anchor. This is simulation of the Yellow Zone, right? Level 2 really is a fascinating place. Hope you can keep up that positive attitude of yours after you turn into Swiss cheese. Stop spooking her. Look, she's crashed again. The acceptance test will begin in 5 minutes. There won't be any delays to accommodate for someone's technical issues. Come on! Sorry, there's a lot of information in here. Did I crash again? Yeah, fortunately it didn't last long. I'm actually surprised you agreed to take the test, Andoris. I thought you'd be intimidated by how hostile 416 acted back then. I mean, Miss 416 did not actually hurt me. And I still want to give another try, because someone said this is where I am needed. Do you want to carry on with that tea party, or would you rather hear my briefing on the test? Thanks for the dono, Dylan. I appreciate it. Do you want to carry... Oh, yeah. My apologies, Miss 416. Please, go ahead. 11 will be your acting teammate for the duration of the test. The objective is to eliminate the fleeing targets in the canyon within the time limit. Operating procedure is for you two to figure out. I only care about the results. And you, Miss 416? I'm in charge of monitoring, evaluating, and scoring your behaviors. Understood. I'll do my best. Whatever floats your boat. I'll say again, I only care about the results. Having said that, 416 ends the transmission. With her rifle tightly clutched in hand, Andoris scans her surroundings. A certain elite T-doll is taking her combat capabilities for granted again. Don't worry, Andoris. It's just an average ambush. There's nothing complicated. Huh? What's your imprint model? It's G36K KSK. Why that one? Is it compatible with you? Why? Because I heard it's similar to Miss Interacy's G36. If Miss Interacy's that strong, this one can't be that bad, right? Wait, that's how you came to your conclusion? What should we do now, G11? Right. You stay here and don't move. I'll go behind that big rock at 1 o'clock. Ignore everything else when the enemies arrive and just do as I taught you before. Without the safety, aim and shoot. G11 readies her gear and hurries towards the direction that she mentioned. The simulated gale of level 2 blows past her flowing hair, grazing her cheeks with sand grains. But the battle-hardened G11 pays no mind and soon takes her position. Staring at the direction the wind is blowing from, Andoris speaks into the communicator. Say, Miss G11, do you think it'd be better for me if we take the high ground? Huh? Why's that? Because the wind picked up. It's mentioned in the mission intelligence that the enemies are traveling in a jeep. I've seen on TV how that kind of vehicle can kick up a lot of dust without wind when traveling at high speeds. I think the high ground would give us a better view of this case. The roaring sound of an engine grows ever closer, quickly followed by a jeep and the trail of dust behind it, something coming into view. What? I can't get up there in time. Reposition yourself and coordinate with me, Andoris. Roger. The appropriate position would be at... Andoris pauses for a moment, then quickly moves into the chosen direction. Soon she finds a suitable firing position. I don't think they did, Nixon. I doubt it. I think she's one of those characters that won't be a playable character, though. I'm in position, Miss G11. Okay. I'll suppress them and then drive them towards you. Aim for the cabin once they're within range. Aim for the cabin and fire. Yes, I can do that. Raise the gun. Switch out the safety. Next, aim. Andoris peers through the gun sight, only to find the front sight post drifting about. Huh? My body isn't shaking, but why can't I aim properly? Is this a potential liability Mr. Dier mentioned regarding low compatibility? Initiating backup controls. Andoris, they're coming towards you! But backup controls can't aim. No, or it'll be too late! Ugh. Andoris squeezes on the trigger. The bullet emerges from the muzzle like a shooting star, skimming over the jeep's roof and heading towards G11, who is chasing after the vehicle. Ow! Test over. All participants exit level 2 now. The scene of the Yellow Zone slowly fades away, replaced by the trainee ground and 404's temporary base. G11 nervously rubs her head, still shaken by what just happened. Wow! What a shot, Andoris. A clean headshot as well. I guess it's surprisingly accurate from a certain perspective. Great shot. Again? Why can't you process more than one thing at a time? This Andoris is standing there like a piece of junk. Where's your manager? Get me your manager!
Andoris' lips twitched briefly before pressing into a tight line. A guilt-ridden, heartbroken expression emerges on her face. Give her a break, 416. It's her first time handling a proper firefight. It's only natural for her to be overwhelmed. Look, she knows she made a mistake. I'm sorry, She may have trouble adjusting. Do you have the same excuse? What? How many times have I told you to survey the battlefield carefully beforehand, yet somehow you still managed to let a complete newbie teach you a lesson? Come on! I just wanted to get it done. I thought it'd be more of a matter of picking up off a few targets. You know, a piece of cake. Huh? And you, zoning out again? You think causing a blue-on-blue accident's funny? I'm sorry, Miss 416. Neither of you are making this easy. Head to the meeting room and reflect on your actions, then come back later. Come back later? Andoris frowned in perplexity. After carefully pondering the meaning of those words, she ultimately decides to ask directly. But, are you not going to fire me? As Leva remarked, your infield observation and intel gathering skills are indeed commendable. Being able to make that kind of judgment as a first-timer is not bad. But you did neglect the most pressing matter, your marksmanship. While completing the mission is important, success shouldn't come at the expense of your teammates, especially if it is pointless. That is the bottom line. Andoris remained silent, simply clutching her gun tightly in hand. Crashed again. No, I didn't crash. I just did not expect Miss 416 to do this. Willingly slow down and wait for me to catch up. Wait for you? Don't get your hopes up. I'm just temporarily cutting you some slack since I'd be foolish to expect you to catch up immediately. Do not fire blindly before you learn to aim. Got that? Yes, Miss 416. Not Miss 416. Call me leader from now on. Leaving those words behind, 416 immediately walks out of the training ground. Without looking back, G11 steps over and passes Andoris on the arm. Don't be alarmed, Miss Andoris. 416 might appear intimidating, but she saying that means you've earned her approval. Congratulations! No, I'm not nervous. Huh? I'm really happy. I think I'm starting to get a grasp of what Miss Leva meant now, Miss G11. Leva? What did she say? He said, I'm trying to find a place where I'm truly needed. Not sure what that means either, but I'm super happy to have you join 404. We're teammates now on. You two plan to stay there here overnight or what? Quit standing around and come. Let's chat later about it. We should really hurry over, otherwise we're toast if she gets angry. Yes, okay. Andoris takes her first step towards stiffly, followed by another, and then is pulled along by G11, heading towards 416 waiting by the meeting room. There are those willing to help her, and those willing to wait for her. So even if she starts a little slowly, it's okay. Regardless of the pace or how far each step advances, ultimately 404 moves forward together. Yay, good ending. One more though. It's funny, might think I shot in the head though. Was this one shorter than Belka? There's less cutscenes between the commander and the doll. So yeah, I think this one's shorter than Belka. But I like this one more. Well, that'll be about it. Thanks for your help, Commander. Looks like your experience when joining 404 was quite the story. Yeah. You seem to have concerns, Commander. It's okay. You can ask me directly. Some of these records aren't from your perspective, huh? I really can't hide anything from you, Commander. Andoris lifts her up her hand and twirls her strand of hair, hanging down with her face with it. Some of the records are provided by Miss Leva. Of course it's her. Even when she's assigned elsewhere, Leva is still Leva. Oh, looks like you know her very well, Commander. Indeed, she must have wanted me to better fit in with 404. I was worried that Lady Kukai only accepted me because she was fed up with all of my antics. But after hearing her conversation with Mekti, I feel like I have a better understanding of her now. She really is compassionate at her core, with a soft heart under her sharp tongue. I got to pick myself up quickly so that I can ease her worries. I'm also truly indebted to Leva, both for her recommendations and everything she did afterwards. It was also Miss Leva who recognized what I was looking for at first glance. What she's looking for is a place to belong, right? Yes, Commander. What I sought was not merely a place that tolerates my existence, but one that truly needs me, needs my presence. In 404, everyone is willing to accept my flaws, but I also have what it takes to protect my companions in return. I understand that. Feeling needed and recognized is essential to everyone. Right. After that, I came to the Elmo following 404 and met you, Commander. It's here that I learned the true meaning of belonging. Although 404 still operates independently, everyone has come to regard Elmo as their home, and Commander, you're also part of the family. Many dolls have found their belonging under you, and I wish to be one of them. Of course you can. I also realized that whenever you're around, I feel reassured and comforted, Commander. Even my crashing frequency has decreased. In order to express my gratitude, feel free to call upon me whenever you need assistance, Commander. To me, the sense of truly belonging can only be achieved by helping and supporting each other. Na 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 na. I'll give Belka credit. I actually like her now. I like Belka from the beginning. It feels like I was one of the few that liked Belka from the start. I can see how she is annoying, but Belka is one of those characters that just never had a chance to grow up until now. Once again, the rest area at 404's temporary base is jam-packed with people. While banners reading 404's open strategy presentation and welcoming Andoris to the team adorn the walls, the rest of the space is decorated with brightly colored balloons floating around. This is a doll whisperer. Interesting one. What are you trying to accomplish with all these mess here? Since you gave the go-ahead, I arranged everything according to the standards for a birthday party at the cafe.
We're celebrating Ms. Andoris joining the team after all.
Is this your way of celebrating tying balloons to G11's hair?
We weren't able to find anything to lie the balloons down, and G11 happened to be sleeping right here. Come on, it's time for you to put on that smiley face. I think it's great that Miss Andoris passed the test and can stay in 404.
I have the year's assistance and 416 acceptance to thank for that. My acceptance is not going to last forever.
Your intelligence gathering skills are useful, but you better work on your marksmanship as soon as possible. Prepare for the hellish training sessions that are waiting for you. No problem. Though I'm afraid I will have to trouble the technicians with more adjustments and fine-tunings from them. As it happens, I brought some food over. Please consider this my thank you in advance for everyone's future assistance.
Oh, that's kind of you, Miss Andoris. We'll go and have a bite right now. You treat us to your delicious food and we'll be at your beck and call from now on.
That'd be wonderful. After the maintenance staff has left, Andoris quietly nudges up to 416. Thank you for keeping me around and turning a blind eye to this welcome party. If not for your leniency, I will be trying my luck with the bounty hunters now. After all, the service industry in the nearby cities has already blacklisted me. No need to thank me. You earned it yourself. In any case, I will cherish my place in Forest 4, as well as this. Andoris raises the gun and crushes it lovingly. Put that down. You still need some time to master your fire control core. Additionally, never switch off your safety before entering combat, unless you want an accidental discharge to happen. Oh, I didn't notice that. Thank you for pointing it out. Looks like Andoris has already blended in with 404. It seems I was overthinking things. Hey, it's both of them. Following the voice, Leva and Lena, who have continuously been on commissions, show up at the doorway. Wow, a G36K KSK. That's pretty good. 416 went really all out for you. She picked it herself. What are you guys even doing here? Has Nuppa finally realized you're wasted space? Oh my, don't put it like that. How can we possibly be asked into the welcome party of our new 404 member? Though, we're split up more often than not these days. Leva and I will always be part of the team. Upon hearing Lena's words, 416's gaze softened slightly. Noticing this, Leva smiles mischievously. Welcome to Squad 404, Andoris. I bet 416 hasn't said that to you yet. I also have your recommendation to thank Leva. No need to be so formal. After all, it is beneficial for us too. With you on the team now, 404 will be able to take on more lucrative missions from now on. Already plotting your little schemes before we're even back to full strength. Oh? By the sound of that, I guess you're for hiring more members? Of course. We have 2 freeloaders taking up space after all. Hey, don't put it so harshly. Even if I don't care, Leva might get upset. Right. I'm super upset now. Who would have thought that after all this time, 416 is so weak that she can't accomplish anything without me or Lena? Most unusually, 416 does not immediately retaliate with words. Leva, Lena, listen carefully to what I'm about to say. You may have your own choices and plans, but 404 will move towards the future as well. Andoris' arrival is but at the beginning. 404 will grow stronger than ever before, all under my leadership. Looks like 416 has already taken up upon herself to become the leader without me saying a thing. Perfect then. That saves me a bunch of words. What do you mean? I mean what I said. Seeing 416's alerted expression, Lena quickly chimes in. About not being able to participate in 404's routine commissions, Leva and I have always felt very guilty. We are also well aware that this has caused a lot of inconvenience for you in G11. So, in addition to looking for new recruits, we also want to make some adjustments to the squad structure. This has been your wish for a long time, right? I feel like that you've been waiting to push the thankless role of leader onto me for a while now. No, we're not pushing it onto you. We're asking you to take over as leader of Squad 404. The future of Squad 404 needs you, 416. I mean that, sincerely. 416 does not answer directly. Rather looks at Leva, standing on the side, faced with her interrogative gaze. Leva simply nods. As Lena said, Squad 404 is counting on you from now on, 416. Of course, we also do what's in our power to support the work here. We're not completely leaving you to your own devices. And another thing. Leva deliberately pauses for a second. Go on. I hope you can turn your ambitious words into reality, 416. Keep 404 moving forward and become a force that no one dares to challenge. We can safeguard 404 together, right? Leva sets aside her usual slyness, letting her sincerity reach 416 clearly and unmistakably. As a result, all anxiety and unease regarding 404's future buried in 416's mind suddenly vanish. Unlike a certain irresponsible former leader, I will never make empty promises. Even with you sitting around doing nothing, 404 will never collapse. What are you guys blabbering about? Woken up by the commotion, G11 walks over while yawning. Yeah? Leva and Lena's here. What's all the balloons tied to your hair, G11? It looks so weird. Huh? After pulling on and failing to untie the balloons, G11 gives up. All the while, Andoris patiently helps her untangle the mess. It's official now. 416 is leader of Squad 404. And more dolls will be joining us in the future. Does that mean Leva and Lena will be leaving? No way! We won't leave even if you kick us out. 404 will always be our home. But wait. What? With 416 as leader now, wouldn't my life be even more difficult than before? You should be glad that you finally have opportunity to crawl towards the goal of becoming an elite doll now. G11 grimaces with an expression of unbearable anguish. Oh no, she's messing with G11 again. Speaking of, with our new beginning, perhaps you two should take this opportunity to consider new codenames. Look, both Leva and I got new ones. Even Andoris kept their old name as her codename. So complicated, having to think of a name and all that. Can I just use whatever kind of comes up? I'll give you a new codename later. As for me, I've already got one. What is it? Hurry up! Hurry up and tell us! Lukai. Lukai. Does it mean anything in particular? Having been watching from the sidelines for the whole time, Leva narrows her eyes and ponders for a moment before breaking into a smile. A cognate of Crocodile, huh? Quite the ambitious and provocative name. It's just a name I used in the past. Nevertheless, the crocodile's sharp teeth will tear the lion's throat wide open one day. Wow, so scary. While crocodiles rule the water, don't tell me you don't know of their ability to fight is handicapped on land, Kukai. Not when I drag your pretentious ass into the water with me. Oh, you can certainly give that a try. A war without gunfire breaks out as Kukai and Leva engage in a heated exchange. Here we go again. My, Everyone seems to get along. You're really quick to adapt, Andoris. Well, this is 404 after all. Our eternal home and family. In the march of time, Squad 404 takes another step forward, one that uniquely belongs to them. The non-existent Forsaken Squad, stranded into limbo, will continue to justify their existence together with the most unconventional attitude. They got paid for every fight they did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they got paid every time. Just not by the commander. He doesn't have money. Yeah, I like that event quite a bit. Alright, I didn't do this. Anyways. That was definitely the better events between the two. Between her and Belka. Although I like Belka's events. Oh, okay. This is a lie. Here, take my money again. All right. Am I allowed to stay by your side like this, Commander? So I can keep guiding this instinct of mine? I'm elated. I'll try to become the best version of myself. Not just for my own sake, but also for you, Commander. But just being here with you brings you even a moment's comfort and joy, then that would be everything for me. Let us become the sole source of comfort for each other, no matter when it is, where we are, or what we find ourselves in, Commander. Now, it's time for the best part of the game. The tank.
Ooh. Portable energy shield. I'm not sure if it works like that. I think Andoris would just enjoy a nice vibration. Ah, yes, the glitch again. You know what, next it would be funny if she actually did crash during the Covenant. The face crusher. Well, she said being around a commander makes her crash less, so I would assume the Covenant will make her crash even less than the effect I already had before. So even less crashes. PJ is so greedy. But that is such a nice explosion that the tank can do. But is it emotions that cause the crashing? It's high processing, or it's her running out of bandwidth more or less for her processing speed. So if she has to think too hard, she crashes. And if she gets too emotional, she crashes. High hash rate. That's one way of putting it. Have a kimono as a default costume? Who knows? It's hot though. Maybe she just want to show her boobs. Finally done. I switch off the terminal and give my back a good stretch. The joints crack audibly a few times. I mean, pop audibly, not crack. That's a lot of 8s. Yeah, I made this a thing. You know, I have the money to spend. It's only $5. Actually, less than $5 each time. And it's a good... I'm mostly doing it for the Affinity stories. I want to archive them. I've been sitting for so long, my whole body's stiff. Maybe I should take a break. Needs crack. Okay. Oh no. Gunshots in the distance reached my ears long before I arrived at my destination. I'm greeted by Andoris' focused silhouette as I approach, but her shot grouping is... It's a bit hard to look at, wouldn't you say? Ah, Commander. Andoris notices my presence after completing her round and exiting level 2. She puts down her rifle and runs up to me. It's quite late already. Shouldn't you be resting, Commander? Just wrapped up my work. Thought I exercised a little. What about you? Still training at this hour? Didn't you just return to a mission an hour ago? You should take some rest first. Indeed I did. However, the mission revealed some of my shortcomings. I'm still too prone to crashing during emergencies. And as you can see, Commander. Following Andoris' gaze, I turn my attention to the screen again. Andoris had the simulation set to breakthrough mode, meaning the virtual targets would constantly close in on her. This mode requires the test subject to quickly identify a breakthrough direction and prioritize certain targets. I just wanted to see if I could optimize my reflexes and decision-making speed through practicing data tuning. And while I was making good progress before, I struggled to keep up as the difficulty increased. Andoris looks at the virtual targets and stroked her cheek in frustration. But I guess Leader did say these things can't be rushed. I have to take it slowly. Do you think so too, Commander? She's right. You know, most of your issues stem from hardware limitations. While processing and model optimization can help, an enormous library of data is required to make a difference. As such, progress won't be particularly noticeable at first. I'm fine with that. I'm happy to make a little progress each day to help you with missions our routine, Commander. Andoris flashes an angelic smile. It feels kind of warm. Pardon? What exactly? I mean, seeing Andoris work so hard really warms my heart. Say, if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. Really? Is that really alright? Of course it is. Seeing how hard you're working to better yourself, I want to do something to help you. I'm so happy to see you being so disconcerted, Commander. In this case, if you have the time, would you mind playing some chess with me? I read online that chess is good for developing reaction time and decision-making skills. I think it's good for decision-making skills, but reaction time? Maybe if it's speed chess. Are you thinking speed chess? Normal chess, no. Even though chess is good for exercising the mind, I'm not sure that applies to dolls. But it can't help but try. It can't hurt to try. I'll check my schedule and see if I can set aside time for it. Sorry to bother you like this, Commander. In return, I'll have afternoon tea ready for you, Commander. Sounds great. Looking forward to it. Decent. I think I'll make this move. I glance at the situation on the chessboard. On the e5. The chessboard generates a holographic projection of the piece at the designated square. Andris' pupils contract as she slips into a trance, staring at the chessboard motionlessly. Looks like it's just a bit of lag. It seems the computational load requires for a game of chess is still too heavy for Andoris. With multiverse time travel. I pick up the terminal next to me. F4. Are you sure? I made my move. Queen at H4. Ah, that diagonal is disposed. My gaze shifts back to my terminal, waiting for Andoris' latest lag to end. Another 10 seconds goes by, and Andoris blinks. Did I crash again? No, just lag, I think. It didn't last long. I haven't even made it through a page yet. I'm feeling a little guilty. It took us so long to make just a few moves. Am I wasting your time, Commander? Huh? Not at all. I marked the day as R&R today. So spending some comfy time playing chess with you is honestly perfect. Besides, I hold up my terminal in my hand. I was just wondering, are you reading an ebook, Commander? Yeah. I haven't had time to read in a while, since it's rare for me to take a break. You guys seem to find these little pockets of calm, Commander, no matter the situation. Gotta make the most of precious moments. It's not every day that I get to be this laid back, and I'm really enjoying it. Take your time, Andoris, as long as you need. Okay. Let me see. Oh wait, I think it's time for Andoris? Andoris does not respond, but stands up abruptly. Chess. Andoris picks up the teapot and walks to the door. I get up and follow behind her, worried she might bump into something. No, chess, continue. Andoris returns to the table and stares blankly at the chessboard. Queen of butter cookie to E3. It sounds like he's having difficulty prioritizing. Andoris suddenly falls silent, then her body collapses backward, and the teapot slips from her hand. Huh? I quickly reach out and catch her with both hands, but the teapot can't be saved and falls to the floor, shattering into pieces. Andoris? I try to wake her up, but a red light flashing her pupils attracts my attention, a telltale sign of a system crash. And so I gently laid her down on the sofa. I look over at Andoris as I hear the rustle of fabric. I'm finally awake. Oh, dear. I'm so sorry, Commander. I crashed again. It's fine. That was the first one today. However, I have no idea what triggered your crash. Could it be the afternoon tea? Andoris sits up and slowly tidies her hair and skirt. Well, my speculation is that upon noticing that afternoon tea time is coming up, I loaded a bunch of recipes all at once. Doing so while trying to process the entire chess game was likely too much for me to handle at once, which resulted in the crash. Just as I'm about to comfort her, Andoris tilts her head and looks at me. Although everyone says that I should take things slowly,
I feel like that's not always practical. It would be suboptimal if I got in the way of important matters after all. Looks like I have much more to optimize. Andoris' leisurely tone is like a soothing aroma, bringing an inexplicable sense of relief. I can't help but indulge in it and relax as well. Optimization is one thing, but there's no need to be overly anxious about things that have yet to happen. Even if things do go south, it's more likely due to my own negligence and failure to plan properly as a commander. Plan? Yeah, naturally, I'll be inclined to assign you tasks you're more comfortable with. Tasks I'm comfortable with? That must mean data transmission. Andoris happily taps where her core is located. I got a lot of space here, you know? Leader often says I'm a walking hard drive, so I'm quite flattered. Andoris' delighted expression seems genuine. I can't help but admire Leva's ability to read people. You have a great personality on top of an excellent memory, Andoris. Not everyone is this good at sensing others' emotions and offering support. Maybe you're better suited for communication-focused work. Communication-focused, huh? But my experience from before says otherwise. I was a little tardy when working in the surface field, to put it mildly. The complaints I received were so numerous that the letters could pile into a small mountain. It was quite the sight. As a result, I could no longer find employment. Recalling her past experiences, Andoris looks a little helpless, but she quickly regains her reassuring smile. Fortunately, the problem was ultimately solved with the help of Miss Springfield and Miss Leva. Though most of our current commissions are combat-focused and have little to do with communication. That's to be expected. You're in a T-Doll squad after all. But that's not to say communication isn't crucial. The success of some commissions hinges entirely on building rapport with the client. One needs to fully understand their needs to negotiate a satisfactory deal for both parties. The problem is, the client may not want to disclose their true intentions for various reasons. Your attentiveness, friendliness, and empathy are nice to have in such a scenario. Let's leave the decision-making and planning part to me. That sounds like a pivotal role. If circumstances will call for it, I wouldn't mind giving such tasks a try. Is that okay, Commander? Of course. Actually, I believe there's one such appointment tomorrow. Let me check. I open the terminal's mission interface and take a glance. Here. Check this out. Oh, it seems the client intends to introduce additional items, and they're rather disadvantageous to us. Is that right? Correct. I dealt with her before. She's rather cautious and distrustful. But you come across as much more approachable. So maybe you can make her drop her guard, if just a little. If you believe that could work, then by all means, let me give it a try. Very well. Let's go tomorrow. Together, Andoris. Ah, the patience on this man. It is something to be admired. Another hero boob moment. The sliding door to the maintenance room opens. Mei Ling, already prepared for the repair, upon receiving the message, quickly runs over. Commander, are you... Andoris! How did she get so badly damaged? With the remaining half of Andoris' body and... Remaining half? The fuck happened? With the remaining half of Andoris' body in my arms, I carefully place her in the repair bay.
got ambushed by the client's rival while discussing business with her. Mei-Ling, come over and assess the damage.
Right away. Oh, this is hideous. I'm fine, Mei-Ling.
His top half. Andoris strokes Mei-Ling's head, then pats her still intact core.
I just completed a self-diagnosis. My crucial storage capacity has not been impacted.
This isn't a time for you to be comforting others. Seeing Andoris smiles apologetically, I let out a sigh.
The neural core is fine, thank goodness. But all the leg components need to be replaced, as well as the right arm, and a synthetic skin. It'd be easier to just replace the entire frame. I'll go make preparations now, Commander. Can you upload Andoris' neural data?
No problem, be quick. As Mei-Ling trots away, the maintenance room suddenly falls silent. All that remains is the constant beeping of the sensor. Look at the state you're in. This isn't a time for you to be worrying about these things. Andoris shakes her head.
The safety of my commander is utmost concern. I had to make sure of it. A doll's frame can be repaired and restored to its original state, but the same could be said for people.
I don't want you to hold on to that kind of thinking. Even if a doll's frame can be repaired, it still hurts when you get injured, right?
It does hurt.
It's okay to get hurt because I can be fixed. That's not the mindset I want you to have when making reckless decisions, Andoris.
Reckless decisions?
You know, I was prepared for whatever we might encounter during the outing, but I never got the chance to make use of my contingencies since you barged in first. The force field would have been enough to protect us, and you wouldn't have suffered such severe damage.
Are you saying I only acted recklessly because I disregarded my own safety, Commander?
No. I just know you're trying to protect me, but I want you to take better care of yourself, too.
It's okay, I can't die, I have plot armor.
Take care, son. Speaking of which, your reaction speed back there wasn't as slow as usual.
Did I react quickly?
Andoris slowly blinks.
Well, I just checked my neural records from the time. My data processing log just prior to my action of protecting you reads nothing. In other words, I didn't perform any kind of consequence analysis back then. There was no, I'm just a doll, it doesn't matter if I get hurt, or my own safety isn't important. None of that crossed my mind.
Huh? Dolls usually process their actions first, then execute. Having your body jump straight into the action like that is quite unusual. So, one, it costs money, and two, I don't need to see more of my friends, and I quote, cut in half. True.
Indeed, it could be a glitch in my neural cloud. If so, I had to bother Miss Mei-Ling to take a closer look.
Lying in her repair bay with her mangled frame, Andoris once again shows a gentle, calming smile.
My body sprang into action without my conscious thoughts. This is indeed a first for me. Is this what the books call the instinct of a living being? But I'm clearly a doll. Don't worry, Commander. Maybe the glitch will go away after I switch to a new frame.
I hope so. I gently caress Andoris' head, my feelings tinged with sorrow. He's half the doll she's, my god. Andoris has always been gentle and attentive when caring for others, but when it comes to herself, she can be quite insensitive. This might save her some hassle, but I find it hard to admit it's a good thing to end. is a good thing in the end. Good night, Commander. As her sensor beeps to the signal that the neurocloud upload is complete, Andoris also enters hibernation in the repair bay. I'm half the doll I used to be. Dan, 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 dan. I am half the doll I used to be. It's already late evening by the time I've finished the day's work. I arrive at the dormitory and heat up a cup of milk to continue reading the book I started earlier. Come to think of it, it's been a while since I last saw Andoris. If I recall correctly, as soon as she got her new frame, she went on emergency sortie with Kukai while I had my own matters to attend to. I wanted to take some time to visit her, but our schedules never lined up. Just as I'm thinking about whether she's gotten used to her new body or not, I hear the sound of the door sliding open. Huh? Andoris? What a coincidence, I was just thinking about you. How is it? Does the new body? Oof! Before I can finish, I receive a brief but gentle hug. Andoris? I softly pat Andoris on the back, but she does not respond. Instead, she hugs me even tighter. Her soft strands of hair move with her, lightly brushing against my face. What's the matter? I can finally stop being worried after seeing you in such a high spirits, Andoris. Worried? You are afraid I get worried, and this hug is accompanying me, right? A hint of confusion can be heard in Andoris' voice. Oh, I guess I got it wrong then. No, Commander, were you worried about me just now? I was. You just had your entire frame replaced, which would be equivalent of a major surgery for humans. Plus, it takes a while to get used to a new body, even for a doll. I see. As you can see, I'm doing great. I can move around quite well. Andoris lets go of me and straightens up in front of me. She looks good as new, with her neat dress and frame in perfect condition. Even though the Kukai agrees that I'm ready to go racing against those now. That's good to hear. Oh, right. I just got a new portable charging station. I'll bring it over now. Think of it as a thank you gift for saving me. Just as I turn around and prepare to leave the Flashback charging station, a pair of arms slowly wrap around my waist. Okay. I guess Andoris is all like, fuck it, I'm going in. Andoris, is there something wrong? Ah, how strange. My body's moving on its own again. Again? Yeah, just like earlier, as well as the mission before. My body's moving on its own without my conscious control. It doesn't seem like I'm involved in my function either. The neurocloud doll is a mysterious black box. Sometimes even Percy herself can't figure it out. So, no need to overthink it. Just do what you see fit. Oh, alright then. Can I hold on to you like this a little longer, Commander? By all means. Right as I say that, I can feel the arms around my waist tighten a little more, then loosen slightly as if afraid of hurting me. Ugh. My stomach growls in the most positive moments, overcome by hunger. Have you not had dinner yet, Commander? I forgot about it. Speaking of which, it really is a shame. Shame? I'm talking about the dishes the clients prepared when we meet up. A table full of delicious food, all wasted before we could even dig in because of the ambush. If you don't mind, I can make you something, Commander.
It may not be as sophisticated as those delicacies, but you definitely won't leave hungry. Sounds good. Although, is it really okay for you to cook? I remember Springfield mentioning that complicated dishes might cause you to crash or something. That's right. That's why I deliberately study dishes that aren't too complicated, thinking I could make them for you whenever you crave them, Commander. Andoris retrieves a bag from the cupboard as she speaks. Pancake mix? Yep, it's relatively easy to work with. Please don't be disappointed, Commander. How could I? Compared to compressed biscuits, pancakes are a rare treat. Andoris smiles and begins preparing the pancakes. Perhaps to avoid processing too much information at once, she moves at a rather leisurely pace. This feels kind of embarrassing. To have you make food for me, we just came back from a mission. No, I want to cook for you now, Commander. I don't want you to go hungry. Maybe that's why I subconsciously found myself wanting to stay with you a little longer. Want me to stay? You mean that hub was meant to keep me around? That's my guess, since if I really wanted to, I could simply said so. But still, my body moved on its own, as if guided by that very instinct we talked about. Andoris pours the pancake batter into the hot frying pan and skillfully flips it. Maybe it's because you're the most important person in my thoughts, or perhaps I simply want to be with you, Commander. The pancake mix takes shape and releases a rich aroma of creamy milk. And then, after realizing that you're the one at the center of all this, maybe letting this instinct guide my actions isn't such a bad thing. Having a commander become my instinct sounds very sweet. The fluffy pancakes are neatly served on a plate and topped with a golden syrup. They look very appetizing. Guten Appetit. Well, I'll dig in now. Delicious. And the tenderness is just right. Wonderful. I'm glad to hear you like it, Commander. I like it a lot. In that case, may I request something from you, Commander? That's quite unlike you to ask for things so directly. Fuck me! I mean, it's an unreasonable request. Tell me about it. Andres flashes a somewhat sly smile, a rare sight coming from her. Finish the pancakes. Then I'll tell you, Commander. Finish your pancakes. Then you'll find out. We're gonna go on a wild ride, Commander. Is Perska immortal? No. You probably wondering about her age, right? She should be in her 50s at the moment. But yeah, she just looks good. I don't know what to tell you. Is this the first for a doll that has such instincts, or are there others? So the special part about Andoris is that she is able to act without processing anything. So the only close comparison that I know of, it's besides M4, it's pretty much Ulrid. Because Ulrid can process things and come to a conclusion, but then ignore those conclusions and do what she wants. So she can contradict her own thoughts, which is very unlike a T-doll, or a doll in general. But as far as like processing nothing and then acting, yeah, I think I only know Andoris that can do that.
How does it happen? We don't know. It's a neural cloud thing. And then there's RO, or Rebella, whichever you want to call her. RO has actual emotions. Like, all the dolls are emotional, but you can at least say that they're processed emotions, you know what I mean? But RO and N4, they have actual emotions. Yeah, it's a whole thing with the neural cloud. It's still mysterious. It's not 100% figured out. It's a relic after all, or derived from a relic. Bishop to E5, blocking the check. Then I'll have no choice but to catch your bishop. I still can't outwit you at this, Commander. So, all that enigmatic act was just to get me to play chess with you regularly? Isn't it that outrageous? It isn't that outrageous of a request, is it? I think it is, since I'm monopolizing a lot of your time and energy, Commander. It's not just me, you know. Everyone wants to spend time with you, Commander, so I feel a little guilty for making such a request. However, it's not just about claiming you for myself. I also want to show you the fruits of my recent training, Commander. While I'm still processing her words, Andoris moves her piece into a tricky position. This move... Hold on, was it just me, or did your reaction speed get faster? The duration of my lag has been reduced. And we started to employ more tactics too. Good job, Andoris. Thank you for spending so much time with me, Commander. Also, it's not just chess. I've also noticed my reaction speed improving and crash frequency decreasing during missions lately. I assume that phenomenon where your body moves on its own without processing is also much less frequent now, right? I'm not sure about that. Since the phenomenon only seems to arise when I'm in your presence, I also don't want to be gone. After all, letting you become my instinct feels like a special bond between the two of us, Commander. One that nothing can break. That thought alone fills me with so much happiness. Even so, I hope you can take more care of yourself. I am. And in choosing to care for myself, I want you to be the most important person in my life. The one encoded into the deepest layers of my mind. A game of chess isn't mine to decide the outcome of, but when it comes to who holds the highest place in my heart, that choice belongs to me alone. I hope you can embrace this outcome without worry, Commander. Yep. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Another one gone, and another one gone, and another one gone. So when Andoris got her frame replaced, did it get wired better? No. Apparently no. Also, is Maylene custom building each doll when their frames had to be replaced? No. So the way how the frames work, the frames more or less get digitized into what they need to be based on the neural data. So there's a stock frame, and then based on the data from the neural cloud, it morphs into what it needs to be. We see this in action in the early chapters when Groza gets replaced. Or when Groza gets a new frame. That's a more accurate way of saying that. Now, frames can be improved, mechanically speaking, but what Andoris is dealing with, the neural cloud and stuff, that's unique to her. And RPK morph into my wife. Isn't that just RPK for you? Imprint model G36K KSK, a civilian doll developed by IOP for the service industry. Andoris' model boasts design features such as an attractive appearance, sure, friendly demeanor, accommodating character, and flexible applications. To achieve such a high level of humanization, Andoris is equipped with an advanced emotional reasoning module paired with a high-capacity data storage unit. However, this design decision indirectly causes her memory cache to be operating at near full capacity at all times, resulting in a critical flaw. While proficient at collecting and storing information, her moment-to-moment data processing and decision-making skills are lacking. In other words, she is an airheaded beauty. While a joy to have a lucid conversation with, she will spell disaster for anyone who forgets to promptly issue instructions and leaves her to her own devices during an emergency. As a result, despite her pleasant and approachable demeanor, she received a large volume of complaints for her poor customer service efficiency. Consequently, all of her stints in employment were short-lived. When she had reached her rock bottom, Andoris was taken in by Springfield, the manager of a cafe in the Sally City. Through a series of events, her excellent information gathering skills and source capacity caught the eye of Leva, an occasional customer at the cafe, who then recommended her to Kukai. She was eventually recruited as a member of Hyde 404 Team A. Although Andoris is tolerant in most circumstances and rarely gets emotional, her demeanor gives people the impression that there is more to meets the eye. However, close acquaintances of hers know very well that she really is just an extremely accommodating and slightly laid-back individual. So that explains a lot. So the reason why she can't really process things is because she has... it's okay, thanks for slow. It's because she has an advanced emotional reasoning module, and it takes up a super large amount of her processing power to do that. In summary, your performance during the trial period did not meet our company's requirements for the position. Therefore, we regret to inform you that in a tiny room measuring less than 20 square meters, Andoris carefully reads the termination notice that she just received. Huh? Why are you highlighting the reason you got fired for? To see if I can improve on my mistakes? Come on, it's clearly a copy-pasted template. There's no point into reading it. Listen to me sing instead. The room's owner, Andoris' colleague, our former colleague to be exact, sits across from Andoris with a guitar on her lap. Thank you for taking me in even though we're not colleagues anymore, Annie. I am very grateful. Because you're great to have around. So pretty and gentle. You're the best doll I ever met. It's the manager who overreacted. The colleague responded, seeming upset at the injustice her friend suffered. All you did was not react in time. Well, letting the shutter door hit customers in the face is not okay. Especially for the third time in a month. I can see why the manager got upset. Hearing her colleague sympathize with her, Andoris gently smiles. Besides, I'm nowhere near being the best doll either. Ever. My model has already been discontinued due to data processing speed not meeting expectations along with the frequent crashes. How could that be? None of this is your fault. If anything, the designer should be the one held responsible. Maybe, but it's okay. Andoris stands up and walks to the window. With the room located in the 37th floor, she can overlook the entire city. The night is late, but the city yet sleeps. Colorful patches of light from the nightlight flicker as sporadically as there are error messages popping up in Andoris' neural cloud. Nursery crashes. I'll keep searching. Maybe a place better suited for me waits somewhere else. The AR team was built by Persica with military-grade parts, right? So if their frames had to be rebuilt, would they be slower than they used to be? It's not a guarantee that they all have military parts. It's only guaranteed that M4 has military parts. Though I would imagine after they've all been modded that they have military parts, but I don't remember them specifically saying that was the case. So we know for a fact that M4 has them. M16 has SF parts, which is different. But everyone else, we only know that they've been modded and they have neural cloud upgrades. That makes them way better. Very 16 last special parts. Because if they all have military grade parts, you have to remember, military grade parts is what Defy has. So M4 getting military grade parts actually makes her on par, actually better than most of Defy. In terms of being a combatant, M4 is better than AK-12. Which is kind of massive, to be honest. Taking care of the elderly is no small feat. Although Andoris had studied the ins and outs of being a caregiver before accepting the position, it wasn't until she actually started working that she fully realized just how complex and sizable of a job it truly was. Life at the nursing home may seem uneventful on the surface, but unexpected situations can arise at any moment. It's during these moments, when multiple commands must be executed at once, that Andoris' performance limitations become apparent. For example, once, while assisting a senior in a shower, she forgot to execute the command to turn off the shower head. As a result, both of them got soaked, and worse, she slipped and fell. In another case, the senior suddenly began choking while Andoris was pouring water for him. When she attempted to intervene, the new command conflicted with the previous pour water instruction, causing her to crash on the spot. Oh, that one is oof. That one is rough. He's like, save me! And Anna's just staring at him. I'm gonna watch you die now. Eventually, Andoris was assigned to care for an elderly woman with Alzheimer's. Her body and memory was slowly withering away, like an antiquated tree in the final days of autumn. Most of the time, she sits silently in her wheelchair, staring out of the window like a statue. Beyond her basic needs like food and hygiene, she asks for little else. As long as things remain predictable, Andoris will not need to worry about crashing. Everything moves smoothly when she's around this woman. During rare moments of clarity, the woman who has flipped through an old photo album, recounting faded stories behind the pictures. Stories of her daughter, her son, her friends, and herself. These aren't particularly remarkable stories, but to Andoris, they stir a strange sense of familiarity, a feeling she once felt with her previous co-workers. When Andoris shares this feeling and asks how she might preserve it, the woman pauses, looking at her with a calm and kind gaze. That feeling is a bond between people. A bond? You mean? Hold on, I'm getting a call. That feeling is the bond between people. The bond? You mean, when I talk to you, a small, fragile bond forms between us. And when people go through the joy or sadness together, that bond deepens. The stronger the bond, the stronger that feeling. I don't really understand. The woman smiles. Everyone has a different name for it. For me, the people and places that give me the feeling are my belonging, my husband, my children, the house I lived in, but now I can hardly remember any of it. There's a trace of loneliness in her smile. Andoris instinctively places her hand over the woman's. Belonging? Yes, it's something many people search for. It's hard to put into words, but it's a place where you feel safe, where people accept one another, a place that feels just right. Andoris ponders the words and then nods as if something clicked. Then, for me, this job brings me peace. You tolerate my mistakes, and I feel happy knowing I'm needed. So this is where I belong. Before coming here, I was always searching for a job that would set me forever. Maybe that's just how my base layer code works. Even now, I mess up a lot and struggle to keep up, but doing this makes me happy. I hope I can stay here. The woman, who has been listening silently, gently closes the album in her lap. She looks at Andoris directly. Her eyes, used to feel the illness, now holds a rare clarity. My girl, if that's truly your wish, then I'm afraid this isn't the place you're looking for. The woman has been kind, more forgiving of Andoris' mistakes than anyone else in the nursing home, but now her words leave Andoris dumbfounded. Her usual smooth procedure halted mid-operation. Andoris has crashed again. The conversation has now ended abruptly, interrupted by Andoris' piston failure and the woman's growing fatigue. Later, the woman's condition deteriorated rapidly. The last time Andoris heard her voice was through a recording given to her by the director. My girl, I'm sorry, the conversation we had that day, we'll never get to finish it face to face. I don't fully understand how adult minds work, but if a human keeps searching for something, it must mean it truly matters to them. A pause, the soft hiss of a ventilator, and the steady beeping of medical equipment filled the silence. That job you kept looking for, that place where mutual acceptance exists, might have been pre-programmed, just like you said, but over time, it has become part of your heart. The recording falls silent for a long time. A human's life is short and fragile, especially for someone like me, already at the end of the road. I'm sorry, my girl. Belonging is made of people and places, and this place can only be a temporary stop for you. Her faint voice muffled behind the breathing mask is like a winter gale's, sweeping across the barren land and encompassing all in its freezing cold. Go find more places, meet more people, or perhaps more of your own kind. My own kind. Andoris repeats the words in her mind. As the recording ends, the world begins to shift. The breath of spring starts to melt the frost, and within Andoris' neural cloud, a thought quietly takes root. To leave this place, to find new people, to seek where she truly belongs. Record 4. Sound of a switching video. Welcome. 404 has finally welcomed a new member. We might not be going on missions together just yet, but once you're in 404, you're family. If you need any help, just contact me directly, okay? Having made it through 416's test successfully, you are worthy of my expectations after all. Well done, Andoris. You finally found a place where that you need and also needs you in return. From now on, please take care of 416 and G11 while I'm away with Lena. I hope you can steadily become the trusty backup they can rely on. Okay. Andoris, your thighs are really nice. Super comfy to nap on. Truly worthy of the title Sanctuary of a Midday Nap. What does that mean? Oh, I just made it up. See, just like this. I lie down and count to 3. 3. As the highlight of Andoris' welcome party, the screen plays a series of short video messages recorded by the Foundation members of Squad 404 to welcome their new member. Despite being out of the loop, Kukai immediately notices the video has ended just after 3 clips. What about me? A simple question carrying a dreadful aura. Well, you're just too intimidating, Kukai. The technician in charge of filming said she was afraid you scold her for being superfluous or disrupting the training. See? She's still hiding back there, peeking at you. Oh my. I think if our new leader has to keep frowning for another 30 seconds, she might just quit this party right now. It's not that dramatic, Leva. Anyone who would be scared of crocodile, giving them a death stare. Glancing at the girl peeking nervously from behind the curtain, Kukai sighs and tries to appear a bit more approachable. Leave her be. Unexpectedly, Andoris starts cheerfully waving in that direction the very next moment. Hey, Miss Jolin. Leader asks if you can come over for a moment. What are you doing, Andoris? Kukai asks, clearly flustered as Jolin cautiously approaches. Aren't you a little disappointed about not being in the welcome video? Miss Jolin still has the equipment. You can still film her part. I'm not disappointed. The curt reply stands in contrast to her evasive gaze. I see. Then let's say I am the one who feels disappointed that if I didn't get a proper welcome from the new leader. Is that okay? Make it quick. Of course, Leader Kukai. Let's find somewhere quieter to film Miss Jolin, shall we? As Andorin gently tugs a visible awkward Kukai off to the side, the other 3 members of Squad 404 let out a collective breath of relief. It has nothing to do with the strength or with experience. From now on, Andoris won't have to leave again. Record 5. Although Andoris isn't especially proficient with firearms to the point of being jokingly referred to as white-armored goon of a certain spacefaring empire by Mekti, stormtroopers, she's very fond of her imprinted weapon, the G36K KSK. Back when she was still a civilian doll, Andoris didn't know much about firearms. As such, when it came to choose an imprint-compatible weapon, she was completely lost amidst a sea of incomprehensible model numbers and code words. And yet, despite not understanding a thing, her eyes landed on that specific rifle instantly. She's a goonette. Even though her compatibility with it isn't particularly high, she chose it without hesitation, simply because it reminded her of Centauraci, the backbone that propped up the Zakuro. With weapon imprints being the fundamental aspect of any given T-doll, by picking a gun similar to that of Centauraci, She hopes that maybe, just maybe, one day she could grow to be just as strong as her. Most people, upon hearing her reasoning, would realize that there isn't much correlation between one's imprint and strength, yet none have the heart to crush Andoris' hopeful dream. In her free time, Andoris' favorite activity is maintaining her weapon. In fact, merely maintaining it isn't enough. She spends the majority of her paychecks on paints and accessories: urban camo, dazzle camo, jungle camo, desert camo. Every so often, she gives her gun a complete makeover. Well, you have to have this many spray cans? Just for camos? On one occasion, Mekti visited Andoris' dorm and was stunned to see the neatly arranged spray cans cover the entire wall. Wouldn't painting new camo every other be a big hassle? You have to move the old paint every time. Not at all. Just like how you never got bored playing games, this is my hobby. Interesting. You weren't even a T-doll originally, but you're more obsessed with weapons than most of them. As Mekti babbled, Andoris paused as her cleaning and gently ran her hand along the barrel of the rifle. I used to think I'd be stuck forever in the service industry. I wasn't even doing a good job. Becoming a T-doll was something I would never have dreamed of. Becoming one showed me a future with potentials I would never realized. As for weapons, they are the embodiment of a T-doll, which is probably why I've grown so attached to them. Ah, affection by association. Makes sense. Mekti nodded in understanding. This cold, destructive instrument of power gave Andoris a sense of purpose. With her rifle in hand, she's now filled with the will and strength to protect everything, including her past self, who was once lost, rejected, and afraid. Andoris gun cleaning ASMR. Commander, were you looking for me? Seeing Andoris step into the ops room, I put down the work I had on hand. In my mind, I quickly rehearsed what I was about to say. Here's the thing, Andoris. Your capacity for understanding and empathy is really remarkable. Not to mention, you've always able to offer uplifting encouragement when others are feeling down. I truly admire and like that about you. Glad I can help everyone out. I also always hoped I could shoulder more things for you outside of your work, Commander. But there's one thing I want to know. Do you usually comfort people with hugs? Hugs, you say? Before I can continue, a soft pressure suddenly presses on the back of my head, and I'm gently pulled into a warm embrace, my face buried in something incredibly soft. Yes. I believe hugs are one of the most effective ways to express comfort and care, Andoris says in a harmless, tender tone. Like during that time when Miss Krolik and Miss Nemesis were fighting, I hugged Miss Krolik, and that did effectively stop the argument in terms of results. The truth is, rather than effectively stop the argument, it could be better described that her action instead triggered a new storm of confusion in Krolik's head. You know, Andoris, everyone has their own way of receiving support, and not all find the act of hugging comforting. Not to mention, there are those with malicious intent. Malicious intent? Asks Andoris as she slightly loosens her hold. I take the opportunity to catch some breath. Ugh. I was just worried that your system might be defaulting to hugging as your way of offering support. I don't want you to do this to someone you're not familiar with, just because they seem emotionally off. Doing so without first knowing what that kind of person are can be risky. I do know the difference between strangers and close acquaintances, Commander. Things like this are reserved for those who are close to me, but you're right. Maybe not everyone finds hugs comforting. Her hand rests gently on my shoulder. She tilts her head looking a little lost for a second, then smiles. But you do feel confident when I hug you, don't you, Commander? That's all that matters. Her arms tighten around me, and this time she doesn't appear to have any intention of letting go anytime soon. Like, come here. I'm gonna think of it. I don't think I've ever seen you get this angry before, Andoris. Andoris, who is working on a puzzle, slowly pauses and turns to look at me. Do you want to see me get angry, Commander? It's not that I want you to. I'm just curious. Have you really never experienced anything that made you upset? She idles for a few seconds, seemingly digging through her memory. I think I've never experienced the emotion of anger, but if you're curious as to what it looks like, I can try to imitate it, Commander. Wait, you can imitate that? Dolls were meant to be imitations of humanity, after all. So, shall I begin? Andoris closes her eyes for a brief moment, and by the time she reopens them, an expression I've never seen before takes over her face. Commander! Just who was staying with you in the off room last night? Her expression darkens as she steps forward, looming towards me as I extendedly lean back into my chair. It was... Didn't you say that I was all you need? Why do you break our promise? Why go back on your word? Answer me! Because my shift schedule was, I don't want any excuses. I want you just playing yourself right now! At this point, she looks like she's about to come and grab me by the collar. Okay, that's enough. Stop, Andoris. At my command, she closes her eyes again and takes a deep breath. By the time she opens them, she's back to her gentle, familiar self. Andoris, don't tell me you're using that opportunity to... Andoris tilts her head, wearing a sweet, innocent expression. Never mind. That was a very convincing performance. What were you imitating? Just some scattered fragments of neural data. Nothing to worry about, Commander. Yeah, that's like the bane of his existence. One day, I run into Andoris in the lounge while she's working on some handicrafts. You're still up at this hour, Andoris? What's that? She holds up a green dinosaur plushie to show me. It's Mr. Pizza, Uppy's little Dino. Or Dino, whatever you want to call it. He said it had been ripped and the threads were torn apart. I want to see if I could patch it up. I watch her sew in silence for a while before commenting. Sometimes I feel like you're taking care of everyone like an older sister. Me? An older sister? I don't really think so. She continues with a calm tone while sewing the plushie. If anything, I feel like I'm the one being looked after. This is just my way of giving back to everyone. Why would you think so? Perhaps to avoid a crash, she stops sewing and turns towards me with full intention as she answers. With how my performance issues routinely impact both my work and life, even if no one has too hard to say it, I know I can be a burden at times, so I try to make up for it in other ways whenever I can. You say I take care of others like an older sister, but to me, I'm just really grateful that I've been given the chance to take care of everyone, especially you, Commander. Especially me? Yes, because I know you don't really need these things taken care of for you. You're plenty capable of accomplishing most things on your own. In fact, I know it's probably more convenient for you to just do them yourself. Yet you intentionally let them for me, just to make me feel more at ease, to help me feel useful.
and to let me know it's okay if I mess up. In the past, I've always been afraid that if I didn't do something well, I'd be cast aside, and that's what usually happened. But here you are, Exercise Commander, I feel like I'm needed. Not just because I can achieve these things, but because you've entrusted them with me. That feeling of intention is what matters the most to me. I think this might be the feeling of belonging I've been searching for all along. How sweet. She's like unironically, she feels like a more innocent version of Springfield. Not as perfect, but more sweet. It's really hard to not like Andoris after seeing all this. I can't really say she has mom energy, like how everyone, less evil Springfield, like how everyone likes to meme about, like, oh, Andoris is mommy. No, not really. I can't really think that. But she is really good wife energy. Are you saying Springfield is not innocent? Honestly, she has her wild side. She has that wild side, like in the 70s way, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that Junior. But I actually had to cut it short here. I would like to talk more about Andoris, but I actually do have a place to go, and I had to go get there pretty quickly. Yeah, so next week it should be Jangyu, and I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else in the pipeline. So I guess it's just this, and I guess I do Nikkei on Sunday. But alright. Yeah, Springfield. I'll say one last thing about Springfield just to make it clear. Springfield is the one that all the dolls fear. Okay, we'll see, Dylan. We'll see. It probably is, but we'll see. Because if that's the case, if Jangyu is the same, then we'll just do it with Nikkei. But alright. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Good seeing y'all.